Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sensual SiSTAR number 4, where we're going to be celebrating the beautiful female body. So whether you're a man or a woman, welcome everybody to this. We are going to be looking at the power points in your menstrual cycle. We're going to be looking at the female ability to become intuitive and the female healing ability. We're going to be kind of celebrating the way that ecstatic energy can pass through the female body, making the inner beauty become her outer radiance, and we're also just going to be generally celebrating the female body, which I believe is exquisite in design. It's got so much potential, and I believe as women we're kind of hitting the next phase of our evolution. We're kind of like stepping into a whole new way of being, and I kind of look forward to taking you all to the next level of that. So I just welcome you to tonight. Tonight is also the eve of my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to share with you her birth story because I can and I just look forward to sharing that with you, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. We're going to do some energy clearings and some activations as always. So for those that don't know me, I'm Vanya Silverten. I'm an energy healer, I'm an intuitive. I've been doing this work for 10 years, and I'm currently in Spain at my husband's family house. So we've got some beautiful kind of Spanish style, windows and a beautiful garden out there, and I can see the sea from where I'm at as well, which is really nice to see. Okay, so let's dive into this work. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin sharing my daughter's birth story, and then we're going to go in and I'll tell you a bit about the menstruation points, and then we'll go in and do the energy healing as well. So about 4 years ago to this day, I was very heavily pregnant. So I'll share with you my extraordinary how I got pregnant story, which is another story altogether, probably on another Facebook Live. But 4 years ago today, I was heavily pregnant, and I had a few complications with my birth, unfortunately. So I fell pregnant with my daughter in a really extraordinary, orgasmic, ecstatic way. I felt like the whole universe made love to me. And I thought, well, if the universe made love to me while I'm having to conceive my daughter, obviously I'm going to have an ecstatic, orgasmic birth to bring my daughter into the world. I thought that's obviously what's going to happen, This is my path, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart to set the way that women have birth. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So I had, through my pregnancy, a Kundalini awakening. So all my energy started to move up my body. I had energy all through my pregnancy. I was also working, doing a lot of teaching, a lot of healing. So I also had lots of energy moving up my body, and my baby ended up being breached. And I kept going to the nurses, telling them, hey, I feel like my baby's in the wrong way around, that the shape of my belly wasn't right. I went to 5 different nurses to get those ultrasounds done, and they each said, the baby's fine, the baby's fine, the baby's fine. And I was like, no, there's something not right here. And I asked them, can I go get a scan? And they're like, no, everything's fine, you don't need to get one. So I got to about 38 weeks. And I went to get induction at the hospital to go to the natural birth center, because that's where I was going to have the water pools, the candles, completely natural birth. This is what was going to happen. And then there was another lady there, another lady nurse. And I was like, actually, let me just get her to check. And she felt the belly. She went to have a scan, and she's like, with the ultrasound, she's like, this baby feels breached. And I said, yeah, I knew this baby was breached. I remember crying and crying and crying, because, when you have a breached baby, that adds in a complication, doesn't it? And I was like, you know what? Nature does breach. I can do a breech baby. So I got my head around having a breech baby. I watched breech deliveries. I understood how a breech baby could, be born into this world, because, there are many healthy babies born breached. It is a part of nature. It does happen. And I was like, okay, so she wants to come into this world feet first. Obviously, maybe all that Kundalini energy that was rising up, she couldn't have her head down, at the base of where the Kundalini was, because it might have been too strong. So of course, her body was like this, because all the energy was was moving up my body that way. So it was safer for her to actually have her head up. I was like, okay, she's breached. I've got to accept this. This is her way. This is her choice, you know. But the thing about a breached birth is that you have to get really strong contractions, okay? And because they don't, you know, they don't induce a breech birth, because otherwise it can create, you know, death in the child. Not that I wanted to get induced. I was like, fine. I went and got acupuncture to go bring on the strong contractions. I got no contractions. 39 weeks came, 40 weeks, 41 weeks. You know, it was like, it was great getting to the end. There was no contractions, no nothing. The baby was so high up that I didn't even have any bladder problems throughout my pregnancy. You know, like some women are always going to the toilet because, you know, the pressure on the bladder. I never had any of that because the baby was quite high up. So it didn't quite come down into the cervix to engage the cervix. And then I had another scan and the lady said to me, your waters are really low. And then the doctor came and she said to me, you either have the choice of a stillborn baby or you have to have a cesarean. And I remember just bursting into tears because the last thing I wanted was a cesarean. You know, like you hear all these horror stories about a cesarean, how it's bad for the baby, how they, you know, you're missing out on that natural, you know, experience for them and all that stuff. And I remember crying and crying and crying. But it's a choice, isn't it? I did everything I could to get my baby to that natural place, and then I had to have a cesarean. And I remember having to make that choice. I have to have the cesarean. And I remember going home crying and crying and crying and crying because I was so heartbroken because I really wanted to give birth to my child. You know, I felt like that was a rite of passage for a woman to be able to give birth to her baby. And I remember going home crying. I was like, I just wanted a natural bath with lavender and water and everything like that. And my husband was really, really sweet. He says, it's okay, I'll give you that bath now. And so the night before, which was tonight, he filled up the bath and he put lavender in it and filled the bathroom up with candles. He had flowers there for me. And I remember having this very big belly and I was crying in the bath and he was washing my body. Do you know, like, it's okay. You know, he was washing my body and I remember him washing my body and I thought, you know what? I have to make this magical. This is my baby's opportunity to come into this world. Now I can either go and experience this cesarean with fear and upset, or I can choose to experience this cesarean as a very magical, magical time. And I was like, you know what? Once he was bathing me, I was like, I've got to make this moment magical. And I remember, you know what, I claimed it. I claimed this procedure as a magical procedure. I remember going in the next day and we were laughing and giggling and the doctors and nurses were so beautiful and we just made it magical. I made every moment that I could magical, like lying down magical, getting that epidural magical. When that baby came out of the stomach the way that she chose to came out, and I felt her for the first time and I saw her breath, I was like, wow, this is her life, this is her choice. Her choice was to come into this world this way, for whatever her reason was. And what made it even more magical was that she was born on the 22nd, and she chose that date. I didn't even choose a cesarean date because I had to have almost an emergency cesarean. She chose to come on the 22nd and she was born at 11:33 in the morning, which is pretty magical. And she has almost identical astrology to my husband. So my husband is Gemini in Sun, Mercury and Mars with the Leo rising. And my daughter is got Gemini in Sun, Mercury, Mars with the Leo rising. So the universe has given me a male and female version of the same people because obviously I've got some great learning to do. So this is my story of my daughter who's going to be 4 tomorrow. And I remember, like, before my daughter was born, I remember the universe telling me, because I was a bit like, oh my God, I don't know if I want this baby. It's a bit too much. I want to be free. I want to go be a boho hippie and travel around the world. I don't want a baby. You know, it's going to complicate my life. And I remember the universe saying to me, everything will be okay when she's 4. When she's 4, you'll know exactly why you had her. And then when she's 15, then you'll really know why you had her. And here I am 4 years later, and now I know why I've had this baby. Now I know why I've had to go through my journey of having the universe make love to me to conceive her, and then having the cesarean and my body just being completely collapsed after the cesarean and having to rebuild it back. so that I've got so much more wisdom to bring to all you women. So I would like to celebrate Aurora and wish her a happy birthday, but I'd also like to celebrate you and celebrate the fact that you're living in the most amazing, magical female body. So I just want to send a big wave of love to you and into your female body to celebrate it. So yeah, so well done for being an amazing woman. So tonight I'd really like to celebrate the menstrual cycle. And you know, I know a lot of us have menstrual cycle issues. You know, some of us have period pain, some of us have fertility problems, some of us have, you know, cycles that are like too long, too short. Some of us bleed every 2 weeks. Some of us feel like, you know, that they get in agony and pain every time they have their menstruation. And some of us are maybe in menopause, so maybe you've gone through that whole phase of you know, having your menstrual cycle, and now you're in menopause and your body's changed again, and maybe you're not so comfortable with it. So this is where I'd like to begin, you know, our little talk about our Facebook Live. Is we're going to talk about the menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle, I believe, has been, the magic of it has been forgotten. You know, we've forgotten to actually honor the sacred points in our menstrual cycle. For many generations, we've been taught that, and we've heard it, that the menstrual cycle is a curse. You know, we hear women saying, oh, I've got the curse, you know, and in some cultures, women are not allowed to cook or go into the temple when they're menstruating. And so the menstruation cycle has been denied, neglected, rejected, and because of that, women, we're denying and rejecting a very sacred part of us, okay? And our menstrual cycle is the ability, when we go and really connect to it, our menstrual cycle allows us to have a deeper relationship with ourselves, because our menstrual cycle takes us on a journey every month into ourselves and out of ourselves, into ourselves and out of ourselves. And through that cyclical journey, we learn to get stronger. Through that cyclical journey, we learn to become more intuitive and more creative. And we've kind of really lost our ability to be in sync with that cycle. So I'd really like to help us get into that tonight. So in a nutshell, because I don't have so much time to go into the depths of it, but in a nutshell, you know, we've got the cycle. So we begin, and in the midpoint we've got ovulation. And ovulation obviously is the time where we can conceive a child as a baby. But for women, ovulation is also a very big power point of creation. And we should really be learning to ride our ovulation more and more, right? Not as okay, I can conceive a child, but ride the ovulation and move into that creation energy zone so that you can start creating more, so that you can start coming out into this world. Ovulation is a very extroverted energy, and we really need to learn to ride those hormonal changes so that we can really harness that creative extrovert energy so that we can actually start to manifest more. So that point in the menstrual cycle can be a very big time of creation and manifestation. And it's a time where we tend to go, I can do it. Do you know, at ovulation, I know I'm like, hey, I can do this and I can do that, and I get greater visions for my life, and I get this like adventurous energy that I can like move forward in a whole new way, and I get more confident and more empowered. And I love riding my ovulation phase. You know, it's such a magical phase. And then when we move back into menstruation, it's more of a time where we kind of contract inwards and we come back to ourselves. This is the time of the priestess. This is the temple time. This is the time where we need to become more introverted and not do so much outward energy, but do more inward internal energy. This is the time for deep meditation. This is the time for reflection. This is the time to reset your life so that when you move forward again, when the ovulation comes, you're more on track. You're more on track to actually create in a better, more healthier way. And so I love the menstrual cycle, and I love riding the menstrual cycle. And a lot of us haven't learned to do that. So in the energy clearing today, I'd really like to take you on a journey so that you can reconnect to your body in a whole new way. And what I found is that, I mean, there's many reasons why we get hormonal imbalances and why we get PMS and PMT and get really angry and aggravated before and all those things. But on a more spiritual, psychological level, I find that women who get PMT more, like just before the period begins, is because they haven't done what they needed to do in their creation cycle, okay? So that might be, they might be feeling frustrated that things aren't shifting in their life. They might be frustrated that their relationship with their partner is still stagnant because they were too afraid to say certain things to their partner to help them change. It's that phase just before menstruation. If you watch it, if you're a PMT or PMS sufferer, I would be looking at going, what are the things in my life that aren't working, that I haven't changed, that I know I needed to change, but I haven't done anything about it? And if you can start to recognize that you actually have the power to recreate your life, recreate your relationships, recreate your work in the ovulation phase, you can actually get so much done to kind of reorganize, reset, and reformat your life, that the emotional PMS will start to lessen and lessen and lessen, because you're actually getting more in alignment with your life and back on track. So for those that do have PMS, PMT, that's what I would start to invite you to do, is in those days leading up to the premenstrual, like, you want to be starting to reflect upon your life, on the things that you want to start shifting and changing. So that's what I'd be looking at for those things. The other thing which is important around the menstruation time is that it's actually a time of you becoming extremely intuitive and psychic. Like I said, that's a temple time. It's you coming back to you, but it's also the time when you can be so extra sensitive, so psychic, so intuitive, that you'll start to see the truth of your relationships more. You'll start to see the truth of your direction more. You'll start to see the truth of where your friends are coming from and where to go. So it can be a very psychic and intuitive time. And if women do not spend that time having a day to themselves, at least one day, reflecting and recorrecting and understanding their lives, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's a PowerPoint. You need to come back to that temple time to wake up your intuition and your healing abilities, so again that you can reset your life. And we need to honor these cycles really, really importantly. For those that maybe are menopausal, you can follow the moon cycle if you wanted to, but the full moon can be your ovulation time, and the new moon can be your menstruation time, when you come back into yourself. And so I really invite you to have a whole new relationship to your menstrual cycle. Okay, ladies, are you ready to go in and re-relate to your menstrual cycle? Are you ready to come in and re-relate to yourself in a whole new way? Whew, alrighty. So I'd like you just to allow light just to start flowing through your body. And the first thing I'd like you to feel is, I just want you to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb space, and just come back to yourself. Just return back to yourself. And the first things that we need to start shifting out from you is a lot of confusion and anger and frustration around your menstrual cycle, okay? So this could be the confusion and the frustration and the anger and resentment that you've just collected over your life around your menstrual cycle. Or it could be the confusion, frustration, and anger that's been passed down through the female line, do you know? Tends to be what happens is if say her menstrual cycle wasn't honored, she won't know how to honor the grandmother's menstrual cycle, and grandmother won't be able to honor your mother's menstrual cycle, and your mother wasn't able to honor your menstrual cycle and wasn't able to teach you that pattern through. So can we allow all the confusion around your menstrual cycle that either you've experienced or all the women in your family have experienced, and let's allow that to go. Just let all that confusion go. It's funny, I feel like this confusing energy wanting to release from you, but also feeling it wanting to release from around your pituitary gland. So you might feel like a confusion energy coming out of the pituitary gland. Good. Can we now release all the resentment and the frustration around your menstrual cycle? Anything that you've experienced, all the women in your family have experienced, let it all go. And what's coming out with that is a lot of self-hatred. Like, I hate my body, I hate being a woman, I hate getting my menstrual cycle. And for a lot of you, this is actually a lot of matriarchal line energy. So this is all the women's energy that you've been born into, like hatred of the female body, hatred of the menstrual cycle. Maybe you were told that it was a curse. You know, maybe you were told that it's going to be traumatic from now on. You know, maybe a lot of negative belief systems were imprinted within you or woke up within you as soon as you got your menstrual cycle, you know, began. So can we release all of that negative energy around your menstrual cycle? Whatever the negative thoughts are, whatever the negative emotions are, and whatever the negative experience the women in your family had around their menstrual cycle, and let's just allow that to go. Okay, good. Can we also release from you any religious teachings that say that the menstrual cycle is a curse, or that it's wrong to go into a temple, or that you shouldn't pray around menstruation? Can we allow all that wrong teaching to release from you as well? Let that all go. And I don't know why, but I'm feeling the back of your heart chakra. I feel like all this sorrow, this female sorrow wanting to release from the back of your heart chakra. So instead of being in celebration of the female body, it looks like for generations upon generations, there was a deep sorrow for being in the female body. So just let the back of your heart chakra open up. You might also feel it in the back of your womb space. Let all this female sorrow release from you. The sorrow of being a woman, the pain of being a woman. Let the suffering of being a woman release from you. Let it all go. Some of it's really old. I'm seeing it like centuries old inside of you. Let it go. For some of you, this sorrow is so deep that I feel like crying. Like there's so much sorrow for being a woman, or suffering for being a woman. I feel like crying for you. Let it all go. Let all that female suffering and sorrow go. Let it go from your DNA. Let it go from your cells. Good, 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 good. It's really interesting. So as this female sorrow and suffering is releasing, I feel like there's a big block around your throat chakra or thyroid gland. And I know many times when the thyroid gland's out of alignment, it's going to affect the way that the menstrual cycle plays out. And so I feel like there's this, it's almost like this deep pain of being silenced. Do you know, like not being able to express your magical truth? So can we release all the pain of being silenced? Or can we release the part of you that's just bottled up a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of emotions, and let it all start to release? Yeah, let it all go. Let it all go. You might want to give your body a shake as this is all clearing out. So keep letting the sorrow and the suffering and all the built up emotion that's stored inside of you, let it go. Or actually, I feel like for some of you, I'm like opening up the top of your head and just releasing a lot of bottled up emotion. Some of you ladies out there, you're just bottling up a lot of emotion inside, and it's so much emotion, you don't even know what the emotion is anymore. It's like, is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it this? Is it that? Just let your body open up like I don't know, like open up the lid of your body and just let all this emotion that you've been bottling up inside, just let it release now, let it all go. It's quite a lot there. Whew. There you go. That's feeling better. No wonder why you go a bit crazy before menstruation, hey? You've got that much emotion running through you. And really, you know, our women are very emotional creatures, and really our emotions really are an extension of our intuition. They're really an extension of our sensitivity. And sometimes when we haven't been allowed to explore the repertoire of our emotions, or have learnt how to feel safe with our emotions, it can block our intuition from really opening up and developing. Because it's like, once we understand our emotions, then we can understand our intuition. So can we in the universe unscramble your emotions? Just like unscramble them, untangle your emotions. Can we free your emotions to exist in their truth now? Can we free your emotions to exist with clarity now? And can we free all your emotions to become your intuition? And can we free your emotions to help you have clear intuition? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Oh, you're feeling clearer already, ladies. Just let this beautiful wash of light come over you. And it's really interesting, now that I felt like all that's cleared from you, I feel like all your chakras are now moving back into alignment. So you might feel your chakras moving into alignment, like all the third eye, the throat, the heart, the sacral, the base chakra. Just let your whole body now move back into alignment. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Much, much, much better. Okay. Alrighty, I don't know why, but I feel like this crown is coming down to sit upon your head. So can you just welcome this beautiful crown upon your head? It's like a divine crown, and this crown energetically represents that you are a magical, beautiful, respected, honored woman. It's like you're being honored by the universe for being a woman. So can you just receive this crown? Like, receive this crown, this gorgeous crown that honors you as this magnificent, magical female being who's chosen to exist in this extraordinary female body, and just allow this beautiful crown to come down. You know, it might feel like an energy crown, it might feel like a diamond crown. I don't know, whatever that crown is, just feel it coming down. And as you let this crown come down onto your head, I feel that you're beginning to sit upon this beautiful chair, like a throne, or you might start to sit upon this beautiful flower, like a beautiful rose that opens up. So just allow yourself to sit on this beautiful flower or this throne with this crown going upon your head. And I just want you to feel honored as a woman. And what's even more beautiful, as I feel the heavens are opening up and I see all the female angels coming down, and all the female goddesses. So you might have a particular goddess that you have an affiliate to. You might have particular female angels that you have affiliate to, or Mother Mary, or whoever these female energies are. I feel like the whole heavens are opening up with this divine female energy. So just allow that awakening to take place. And I feel like all these female angels, female goddesses, are just Amma, you know, it's just shining their light down on you. So you might feel all this beautiful sparkly energy coming down from the heavens, and it's just blessing you and honoring you that you are this magnificent woman. Beautiful. And just keep your hands out, your palms out in receptive mode, and just receive. And I'd like you to place both hands on your heart and just claim yourself as a magical woman. I'd like you to claim yourself as an intuitive woman. I'd like you to claim yourself as a woman who can heal and recreate her life. I'd like you to claim yourself as a woman who can create abundance in her life. Claim yourself as a woman who can experience luxury. And I'd just like you to claim yourself as an exquisite, beautiful, sensational, sensual woman. And just feel the magic of your body waking up. Feel the beauty of your body waking up. And when you're ready, you're going to place your hands on your womb space. And you're going to feel healing energy coming out of your hands into your womb space. And we're just going to allow your whole reproductive system just to get a healing. So just channeling light into your womb space, channeling light into your ovaries, channeling light into your cervix, channeling light into your vagina, channeling light into your entire sexual palace. And just allowing your womb space just to receive all this magical energy. And when you're ready, you're going to open your hands up and just receive all this blessing from all these divine female angels and goddesses, all this beautiful sparkly energy. Just allow it to come into your womb space, filling that whole area up. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you might start to feel, we're going to wake up your right ovary. So we're going to allow beautiful light to come into your right ovary and you're going to wake it up. Beautiful light into your left ovary and we're going to wake it up. And we're just going to allow your menstrual cycle to start to come back into sync. So just witnessing, I don't know, I'm just seeing like this circle of light going into your menstrual cycle, into your womb space, but it kind of represents your menstrual cycle. So just allow this beautiful circle of light to circulate through your womb space. Good. And I'd like you now to travel back in time to the time when you first got your period, okay? So, I don't know, maybe you were 8, maybe you were 12. And just look at this part of you that the first time she got her period, just look at her. What's she doing? What's she feeling? What's going on? And I want you to give her the biggest hug in the world. Just take her and hug her and just bless her, give her information, give her knowledge, give her awareness, celebrate her. Maybe you feel like dancing with her so that she can celebrate this moment in her time, in her initiation into becoming a woman. Just allow that to take place. Beautiful. You can kiss her, you can hug her, you can throw flower petals on her. You can tell her how amazing and how powerful she is. You can take her hand and give her an amazing vision for her life. You know, this is what she's capable of doing, this is what she's capable of becoming. Good, 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 good. And then witness that part of you, that young woman now, that maiden. Just witness her standing strong, standing proud in her female body, feeling more confident, more empowered. And just witness her step into a gateway. Like I feel that aspect of you that just, you know, the young maiden that just began her period. I feel like now she's ready to walk through a gateway. So just witness that aspect of you walking through a gateway and initiating, letting her initiate herself as a magical woman. And you might feel some activations going on inside of her, but also inside of your body, because you're one and the same at the end of the day. And you're going to smile, because smiling's always good. Okay, good. So you're going to let that maiden aspect of you, now that she's walked through that magical gateway, just let her come and sit inside your body so that you guys integrate. And as she sits inside your body, you might feel your ovaries waking up with new energy. You might feel your heart waking up with new energy, your head waking up with new energy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, good. Now we're gonna go to your cycle, and I just want you to visualize yourself moving into ovulation phase. And I just want you to allow the true energy of ovulation phase to wake up inside of you. So the joy of it, the creative energy of it, the expansive energy of it, the extroverted energy of it. Maybe it's the adventurous energy, the powerhouse energy, the very confident energy. Just feel that ovulation energy and just like witness it, notice it. Allow that to reset inside of you. You know, this is the phase of the transformer, the creator, the one that can make, you know, shifts in physical reality happen. So you might feel that as a very powerful point. Good, then you're going to keep walking and you're just going to come just before your period, you know, just before you start menstruating. And this is the time when we start to get very sensitive, just like maybe a week before, you know, maybe your boobs get more tender. Maybe you put on some extra water weight or water retention, because, you know, the female body is always expanding and contracting, just like the moon, you know? Maybe it's the time when you start to get more sensitive or more watery, or more like your boobs get bigger or more tender. And this is the phase of like kind of reflection, like have I done what I was meant to do this month? Have I spoken my truth this month, you know? This is the time where you might be getting extra insights, intuition coming to you. So just notice this phase just before period time. And this is a very wise phase. If you flow with this phase, it can bring a lot of wisdom to you, a lot of clarity, how to redo things, how to reflect. Good, and now you're going to move into menstruating. So your period begins and you can feel your body starting to contract inwards, going more into that temple time phase. That's the time of the priestess. That's the time when you really come back to yourself. That's the time when you can go into deep connection with the universe, where you can have a deep realignment of your life, so that you always stay on track. So just feel yourself contracting inwards, 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 going into this menstruation time, honoring it as your temple time. And although you're kind of contracting inwards on one level, you know, you're contracting inwards from the physical world, on another level, you're kind of expanding into the universe, because you're returning back to your true connection to the universe. So you might notice that shift as well. Beautiful. And now I'd like you to witness yourself dancing through your menstrual cycle. So visualize yourself coming out of menstruation, moving into ovulation and expansion, and then going back into temple time, and then coming back out and moving into ovulation and expansion, and going back into temple time and menstruation. So just witness yourself in your own way now, dancing through your menstrual cycle. Having a new relationship to yourself, having a new way to relate to yourself. And you can smile. And can we teach you what it feels like to celebrate your beautiful female body throughout your entire menstrual cycle? Every moment of it. You know, it's an opportunity to have a new relationship with yourself every single day. And you know, every time we go into the depths of ourselves, we discover more of our essence, more of our truth, more of our beauty. And every time we move into that ovulation phase, we can let that inner beauty become our outer radiance. We can, you know, make a shift in the outside world. We can create. And then we go back in, and then we discover our essence and our beauty, and we reconnect back to ourselves in a whole new way, so that when we come back out into ovulation, we can let that inner beauty become our outer radiance again. And each time we have a cycle, a menstrual cycle, we can get stronger and stronger and more centered and more aligned and more aware of who we are in this world. And that's what I invite you to do with each cycle. And you know, some cycles are going to bring up stuff. They're going to make you heal stuff. They're going to confront you. They're going to make you look at your relationships in whole new ways. They're going to make you want to shift it and change it. So sometimes, you know, a cycle can be very deeply confronting because we're being asked to shift and change, you know. And other times a cycle can be very enlightening and awakening as we're stepping more and more into alignment. So, you know, each cycle can bring so many gifts and wisdoms to you so that you can shift and change your life. And I'd like you just to choose to have a new relationship to this part of you. Beautiful. And just let beautiful sparkly light wash through you and over you. And you're going to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb space. And you're just going to allow your heart and your womb space to unite, to connect. And I'd like you to say 3 things about why you honor your body. Like, I honor my female body because, you know, and just say 3 or 4 things of why you honor your female body. And say 3 things of why you choose to celebrate, how you choose to celebrate your female body. Like, I choose to celebrate my female body by doing this or that, or having a day off every time I get my period. You know, how do you choose to celebrate your female body? Okay, good. Good. And you're just gonna do 3 like say and just do that 3 times, like big breath and and again big breath and big breath and And give your body a shake. Shake your legs, your arms, rotate your hips. Okay. So how are you feeling? What's come up? Did you guys feel some of that stuff shifting? Did you feel that crown that went on your head? Why do you honor your body? What are you choosing to celebrate? So Sonia says, I love the chakras realignment and the crown was beautiful light energy. Yeah, I actually felt when the crown came down, like all the energy pathways in the body started to wake up. Sana is saying that part when we celebrated the first time I got my period to the end was so beautiful and removes the stigma of periods of dirty. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, sometimes it's important that we go back in time to re-heal these patterns. Viola, wow, this was so powerful. I celebrate freedom of expression. I had lots of stuff releasing from my knees. I'm now left with slight tension on my jaw. Okay, just release the tension from the jaw. It's really just some built up emotion there. Maybe some stuff you haven't been able to say. Anita loved it, very powerful. When the crown arrived, there were so many little fairies attached to the crown. I loved it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, Michaela, I felt refusal of my period when turning into that phase. Wasn't aware of this. Okay, good, but good to shift that. Shirley, totally felt that release loads of emotions like champagne bottle, uncorked my crown. Yeah, I felt so like poof, ready to pop out. I had a lot of pain down the right side of my body, my wrist shaking, etc. really helped. Okay, good. You're releasing. Martina, intense and on a lot of levels. Good. Mary, yes, the crown and all those beings that came down on also your hand on my left shoulder. It was beautiful and loving. I'm so pleased. And Joanne, I felt so much grief. I know, I felt like crying too. A lot of sorrow releasing, ladies. And I showed her life would be, she loved celebrating her first period. The crown felt amazing. I felt like, now I think, okay, amazing. Karita, absolutely amazing experience. All the angels honoring me. It was like a celebration. They were giving me lots of gifts, crown of flowers. And they were also healing my uterus area. Beautiful. Anita also released that period, okay, or that period time. Amazing. Wow. Good. Yeah, these energy clearings are so powerful. Live crying, much sorrow in menopause now. Yeah, I feel you. It's amazing how much we store inside as women just because we haven't been taught how to process our emotions and we've learnt to bottle up a lot of pain and suffering. So it's really good to release it. Nita's feeling that her period is not a curse, it's a blessing now. And M, thank you, it was powerful, it was amazing. Saw myself with the crown sitting on a chair, celebrating with me, almost worshipping, so beautiful. Even my grandmother came and apologized. Wow, that's beautiful. Love the part with me at 15 years old when I got my period. Thank you, you're so welcome. Teresa's not having periods anymore. So I have been upset, although I found periods a nuisance. I released a lot of sorrow from my ancestors. Beautiful. Paulina, connecting to the younger me was great. I learnt that emotions are key to our intuition. Yeah, it so is. And Alex, our beautiful man, he was there here quietly too. I hope that's okay. Of course it is. It's so nice to have a male presence to support us through this. I learnt it's everybody's responsibility to empower themselves instead of playing the victim game. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Beautiful. Liv is releasing a lot of abuse from the kid and youth. Amazing, ladies, and Alex and whoever else man is out there. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Ladies, we live in the most amazing female body. So amazing, so amazing. You need to celebrate it. Need to celebrate it. Ladies, people, thank you so much. You know, as we shift and change ourselves, we allow our daughters to shift and change. We allow women, the next level of women, to shift and change. And you know, I really feel women, we're on a cusp here. We're like getting over to the next level, and part of that is to claim your sexual energy as a sacred force. And this whole female work's very dear to me. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping us shift the collective. And I look forward to continuing this journey. I've got so many more Facebook Lives as we celebrate this season. And my online course, which you can find on my website. But thank you so much for joining. I just want to reach out and hold all your hands on this live. So maybe we can just do like a closing circle, if that's okay, energetically. So if you just close your eyes, I want you to reach out to all the women on this circle and just give them love. I want you to reach out and hold all these women's hands and just lift them up. Like, let's lift each other up. Let's lift each other up to experience a greater life. Let's lift each other up to experience a more abundant life. Let's lift each other up to experience a more sacred, sensual, magical, intuitive. You know, we're so amazing. Let's just lift each other up. You know, we've been hiding for so long, ladies. Let's lift each other up and lift each other up into life. Beautiful. And while we're here, I'd like you to expand the circle and let's just invite all the other women here on this planet, on this earth. Let's invite all the girls, all the grandmothers. Let's invite all those in a female body. Let's invite all those who feel like they're a woman trapped in a man's body as well, or feel very connected to the feminine energy, or need some female healing. Let's welcome them. Maybe there's some men in this world that need more female energy to help balance their masculine energy out. So let's welcome them in as well, and let's just celebrate this divine female consciousness, which is moving, which is evolving so beautifully and powerfully. And let's just send love to all these people. Amazing, 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 amazing. So namaste, beautiful people. Namaste, beautiful women. Let's keep evolving together. I'm sending so much love to you. Be powerful, be magical. Bye.